Okay. Hello, my name's Sugiyamagawa, and I'm a guy who has way too many OBS issues. But aside from having way too many OBS issues, we are here outside, out in the garden. Yippee! We're gonna be working on pruning up this crabapple tree here. So, but first, I am going to have me a beers because I need a beer. Because apparently, when I initially made the waiting room for today, it did not have auto start for some reason, and I had issues. So yeah, my entire life is just banging ahead into a damn brick wall trying to figure out OBS issues. But aside from that, we're now kind of something a little bit more in my wheelhouse here. So, ooh, that was actually kind of a nice effect. So, we are in the crabapple. Well, this is crabapple tree. It's very pretty, has very nice white flowers, and yeah, it's pretty. It's gotten pretty gnarly, man. Got pretty overgrown. So we'll work on cleaning this guy up. Not sure. Oh, well, you saw the results of that. I'm sure you're hearing a little bit of this. So, first off, I'm just going with the saw pruner. I am looking. Anything that's obviously broken. Well, anything that's obviously died. So, you'll have an outermost layer of leaves and branches. Those will be getting most of the sunlight. And then underneath that, you will have the layers of leaves and branches that get more shaded out. And then those, well, those tend to just die. The tree will actually kill them. The purpose for doing that is in order to put more focus, more energy on the outermost layer of leaves and twigs where the tree is actually making its energy. So I would like to tackle this guy next. You can kind of just barely see him, but I'm gonna move over here and take care of him. See about it is how I'm going about the cut. So it's not the truest pruning cut. Still pretty clean cut, I think. Now ooh. And that's what happens when you kind of don't like actually thin out the actual canopy too often, is you end up, the tree grows out, and when it grows out, the stuff on the inside tends to actually die back. Because it's getting less sunlight. It's one of the ways trees will selectively prune themselves. But yeah, just wanna. Okay. 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 Oh. Most of. Maybe. Definitely. Dead. Telling this tree to bring out its dead. is what we have mostly in the field of view. Here, I think we got most of it. I've got one big branch, kind of biggish branch. It's like this guy way up here. But I can't make it super flush of a cut just because of the angle of the branching. Now, oh yeah, that's a branch right there. Ooh, spooky. That was a spooky branch. Woo! Exciting. But yeah, this is the real fun thing about pruning trees. Is you don't know what sort of stuff you're going to bring down on your head. Having fun. Come down with our next tool. So, I haven't introduced this feller just yet. This is my standard saw blade. Oh, good evening, Dad's Old Shop. Hello, hello. How are you? Hopefully you're not banging your head into OBS issues like I am. But I do have beer, though, so beer will make everything better. So, this here is pole pruner. So it has a magic swing out. And now I have portable saw. Pruning saw. And this is a Adobe. Oh gosh. Oh god. Good joke, good joke. So, these are fiberglass poles, roughly 6 feet long. They're made of fiberglass to make them lighter, easier to handle, but still very strong and stiff. And yeah. Yeah, we're probably not going to be playing with the sawing blade too much at this point. So, that's one of my 2 attachments for the pruning poles. My second attachment is an actual pruner's head. So, what you have here is you have a hook, there's a blade, and then a pulley and a rope. How this works is, I pull on the rope, and it pulls that blade in, and it makes the pruning cut, and then when I'm done, ease up on the rope, and the spring pulls the pulley back into its original position. Also, they're very nice pole pruners. I actually purchased these from the handy dandy website called Forestry Suppliers, and coincidentally this was back when things got really bad with a certain viral disease. The US government was giving out what were called stimulus checks, and this is literally the first thing I bought. With the stimulus check was I bought a set of pole pruners. So, but yeah, so it'd be really hard for me to eye up stuff. Oh, right there. So, hook the set, pull the make cut. And there you go. Very simple, very easy, and also, most importantly, very fun tool to use. Oh, hey, Fetty Spaghetti. Nice tree. Yes, we're gonna make this tree nicer too, because as, as much as I like this tree, the tree's definitely gotten fairly overgrown. So one of my goals for today here is to really thin this guy down. Really take some material out, because oh no, I'm committed. Oh gosh, with commitment. Up. Come down. And down it goes. Wow. Me get in. Creepers, creepers. Cheryl. You. No. So, that. Now have a lot more sun getting into the tree here. And with that, we've taken out a little bit of weight. And really, that's the biggest thing I want to do here today is I want to really open up the tree. Right now, it's pretty dark on the inside of the tree. Been getting lots of dead branches because of that, and try and open, clean the tree up. It's one of my goals. Now there's lots of reasons to prune trees. Typically, one of the big reasons is to do what's called shaping, like getting the tree into a shape you want it. Other things can be like getting the tree into a condition you want it in. Say the tree can be getting a little too big for its area. The main focus of what I'm wanting to do today is I want to thin out the canopy a little bit, kind of give it a little bit more room, a little bit more breathing area, all that good stuff. I also have a couple of areas where I will have to address some low-lying branches, head knockers, basically. That was kind of some of the stuff that I was like taking out earlier. Some of that stuff was really close to head knocking level. So I think I'm gonna just mosey on over here. See what else I want to take out. Oh. You know what? I don't have the length for that. So, what I can do, loosen this, pop that out. Grab hole number 2. So, come on. Oh, there. Oh, there you are. There you are. Line ups for me. Ah, there you are. So, now I have 2 poles connected together. So, I now went from 8, like, I now have like 16 feet of range with these pole pruners. And this is the max size of what I got. Now, I could buy more poles for more length, but once you get past... I've used pole pruners with 4 poles. Jeepers creepers, it's really hard. I don't recommend it. But 2, perfectly fine. It's a little long though. It definitely gets more awkward. You basically swing it around 16 foot of pole. So that and that, I want it. And drag. So yeah, so now getting a lot more. Now getting a lot more light for a tree here. A lot more space, a lot more room. It'll also kind of help create like more ears to the growth. Further progress. But this is like the best thing about pole pruners is like you don't have to get on a ladder to do your pruning. You can keep your feet firmly on terra firma. Here, branchy, branchy, branch. There you go. There you go. Whew. Whew. But yeah, that's also the downside of using the additional length of the poles is kind of off your comfort. I'm reasonably happy with some of that right there. A little bit more pruned up. I'm gonna do some shaping from the outside of the tree. Right now we're at the inside focus of the tree, and I will also be doing a little bit of height pruning because basically here, about where the level of my pole pruner is right now, it's kind of some head knocking stuff, and I want to just like prune that up a little bit. So with that, we to focus this guy. So let's, yeah, that number followed up by yeah. Okay. So we're gonna shorten this. because I don't want a terrible amount of length. So, first and foremost, that guy. Some of these first ones are going to be like dead branches, essentially. Inner branches that have died. They got shaded out. They're also very why I'm able to big like yoink or a tear on them and just come right out. Out. Oh, we got. Let's see. That. Let's get you out. So one of the things I'm trying to do here is I'm also trying to free up and just clean up the branch. But yeah. So there can be a lot of different things to look for on tree branches. It looks better already. Yeah. Especially when you're just trying to clean up water sprouts and stuff like that. You can do a lot to clean up a tree's looks. So like a water sprout, not a good example, but something with that, like a small thin branch that comes up off a main branch. That would be a water sprout. I really used to trim some of the trees around my house. So this is a really big help. Thank you. Oh, no problem. And another thing with like pruning is don't worry about taking out too much. A lot of tree species can be pretty resilient with the amount of material you can take out of them. In the case of this crabapple here, I could probably take out 25% of the leaves and be fine. I'm not going to take that amount out. Probably by the time everything is said and done with what I'm going to do here today, I'm probably going to be looking at 10. The most important thing in pruning, as far as technique, is actually executing a proper pruning cut properly. Now, for that, I need to prep this limb. And by prep this limb, I mean get this thing off. It is. Okay. Go ahead and go to this limb. Here. Because this is actually one of the more technical things we're gonna do. Now, it's a little bit hard to see, but we're worried about this limb right here. That also has a wait, let me get off. There we go. So, next up is going to be demonstrating what's called a proper pruning cut. Now, this branch is dead, so there's not really some of the importance of what I am going to be talking about. It's not as important. So, it's basically called the 3-step pruning cut. So, and it has 3 steps to it. Step 1 is away from the main branch you're cutting. We're gonna do that's your first cut, and you'll only need to go about 1/3 of the way through the branch. Next cut, you're gonna go above it. And then you finish the cut off. And that leaves you with a nub. And the nub you can handle a couple of different ways. You can start off with a little bit of an undercut and then do your main cut from the top down. You can play around with it a little bit, but the big thing about doing the undercut first is what can happen is, especially with green, a large limb, like say if I were to take out a limb like this size here, which I'm not, I don't like, we're primarily concerned with smaller stuff today, but with a large limb like this with a lot of weight on it, you want to reduce that weight when you cut it, but also make sure you have a good undercut, because what can happen is, say I try to cut this limb here, and I just cut from the top down. Well, as I cut from the top down, all this weight pulls down, and as I'm making my cut, the wood will break, and then the bark peels, and it peels, and it peels, and it peels down the side of the tree. And then you basically end up with, for the tree, a giant hangnail for the tree. So that's kind of like one of the more important things to be worried about with like tree pruning is, like, if you're taking off big branches, you want to do an undercut first, then the top cut. Take that. Those first 2 cuts make most of the branch go away, takes the weight away, and then you can kind of finish off with a smaller. Then final cut can be like a cleanup cut. But with very little weight left on the branch, don't get any issues that way. So just if you're going to be doing like pruning on your own, like that's probably like the biggest lesson I have for people out there is you want to get nice clean cuts, because the cleaner your cuts are, the better they'll heal up. You don't want to prune stuff in such a way where stuff will want to hangnail on the tree. So that's how you kind of handle all that there. Whew. Mm-hmm. So, let's move. Yum. Oh, oh god. Oh. Oh wow, that's all the way in. But not staying put. Oh man, I don't like it. Not wanting to stay put. No, ran the thumb screw. Grabbed the wrong. Ugh, goodness gracious. Well, so let's go ahead and focus on play with this guy a little. Lightly. Build up a little bit. But I still do have a little bit more stuff to play with here. Just laid. Pruners, probably just not gonna be tracking long. Wait. Let's stay. Taken care of. Go. Ugh. That cleaned up. The sun. Unfortunately, we're working on the west side of the homestead, so now it's west side of homestead problems. Close enough. Oh man, that's one of the things about this crabapple that really gets me sometimes. Is just how absolutely gnarly some of the branching is. It has really gnarly branching, very crisscrossy branching. Heard of that? Gonna be that. Okay. Wow. And I see some suckers set up. Just want to take care of those. Oh. Actually, let's see here for a moment. Fire. So I can already see all dead there. See something of a branch that take of. Not sure how well you get that one. Yes. And oh. Wow. Ooh. Dead branch coming down. Woo. Yeah. That big old dead branch up there. I see another one now. Let's see. That would. Yep. Got it. Let's see. What else? What else? What? Victim. Wanna ooh. Now you see kind of why I like it when I can just snap the branches. So much easier that way. For me. Woo. Granted, I gotta say, definitely do this when the weather's nice. If the weather's nice, then it makes the work feel so much better. Oh, be like careful, don't See, you get hurt. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm more likely to hurt myself doing my day job. Because if I get hurt earning my money, that's just part of being in business. But just having fun right now. And I am slowly building up a nice bit of debris around here. I believe that too. Let's. What do I want to do in like this field of activity? Oh. Up into that frame. Wowzers. That was not enough. Cut it. There we go. Yoink. Yoink. Woo! That was a big one. Also good, because definitely see a lot more sky up through that. So, seeing a lot more sky there. Okay. I think, ladies and gents, I think we need to mosey. Before we mosey, I'm gonna get water. Because the water's not moving. There we go. That's a good little bit of mosey. Gonna be here. This mess. This terrible, terrible, terrible mess. But yeah. So, this is also something I want to kind of like experiment with for some of the more gardening stuff I want to do. Where it's like we're kind of in a spot for a little bit, we do a little bit of work, and then we kind of like move over to another area. So, this is essentially what I wish to do. But here, we definitely have a lot more definitely have. Here. Woo! Dead brain. Up with a lot of. See how we can. Overgrown tree canopy. Tree. Light. At what branches are underneath? In there, or you get a whole bunch of busted most of. Regardless. A lot of kind of end up becoming a couple small things in the spot, and you'll work on those things. Happy with progress on those. The other thing. Now, granted, I also did get in today knowing that pardon me, this branch here. I want to save this branch. Really wanting to take this guy out. I think that guy out. That would do a lot to open up. Follow that branch down, and I'll just take off. There's also an option. Have to take where you think it's best, or you're not feeling sure about something. Like, okay, I could take that off there. Science to it, but it's also still very much like doing a following your like entertain an idea. Like, okay, if I did that, how would the tree look? Would I be happy with it? Wouldn't be happy with that, then you don't make that cut. Just I have the density. The density. All of it. Have this branch. But kind of looking at that, and I'm thinking that's probably a good branch to tell. Already been active. Not a whole lot of the day. It's perfectly okay. That's like one of the bigger things. Don't you don't want to do too much harm. If you get a little too wild and crazy with it, you can do a little bit too much harm to the tree. So, just gotta be careful. Be careful, take it easy. So, I'm gonna switch out tools. Oh man. It's like a jungle in here, man. Oh god. Oh. Might still look a little. think you guys can see it, but it's starting to open up. So when do the apples grow their meaty claws? Well, I don't know. I really don't know. Actually, I don't know the reason why they call crabapples crabapples. I think, granted, I am 90% sure that I did a spelling error in the title for today because I made the waiting room for this stream on my other streaming computer, which got locked into safe mode. And because it got locked into safe mode, I actually had to uninstall OBS and reinstall OBS and reset everything up. So when I actually hit go live for today, I got an error prompt where it was like, well, you don't start automatically anymore. I was like, what do you mean I don't start automatically anymore? And then I just cursed the OBS gods. Oh, yes, his Crabapple, yeah. Yeah. I knew I messed it up because, well, I was attempting to spell under. Holy snap, I hit go live and now the live isn't working. What's going on? But that's just honestly me. I really wish it wasn't so easy to mess up OBS, but it just is. I don't really have like a lot of options when it comes to other streaming softwares, so it is what it is. Like, you gotta live with what you got. So, I am seeing some dead branching. Oh, that's fun stuff. But yeah. So we got a little bit of that cleaned up. I got a little bit of that cleaned up. Looking at the house side right now and thinking. Kind of rubbing the house a little bit right now. Not too easily. Not in a... sure, I could do something about it now, because, well... Unfortunately, I'd be at risk of dropping limbs on the streaming equipment, which I wish to avoid, by the way. I don't want to damage my streaming equipment, even though it definitely seems like the type of person who definitely faces the various shenanigans for what I do. So, let's see. Oh, ooh. It might have been bad, but it wasn't. Yippee. There's also something I need to do about this. Here's... I need to make sure OBS isn't just locked. That'd be bad. I've dropped branches on paper wasp nests before. Thankfully, they're cool and just buzzed at me. Well, that's the nice thing about early spring is the paper wasps aren't too much of a thing. If you're doing like a late fall pruning, oh, that's a whole other ball game there, buddy. Because the various paper wasps, especially the yellow jackets. Yellow jackets in August are just ornery, absolutely ornery, and yeah, can be just an absolute pain in the butt. So I think we hit up like the main sides of the tree. We basically picked the low-hanging fruit of what I could do with the tree pruning stream. So this is gonna be it for today. I will not be on call for tomorrow. Yeah, it was like midsummer. Paper wasps were in my window, pretty big nest. They were chill. I left them season. Had no problems as long as I moved slow around. But yeah, I will be I will be off tomorrow, and I will be able to do a Sunday morning stream, and I will be doing some Stardew Valley then. So yeah, this was just kind of this has been one of the stream ideas that's been getting kicked around my head for a long time. So it was just kind of like kind of want to do a gardening stream this week. Let's take care of the crabapple tree. I've been wanting to do this, but I feel like I have a decently okay setup, but it works, but it's not perfect sort of deal. But yeah, I had fun other than the tech issues. But yeah, I'll be going live tomorrow morning. We'll be doing some Stardew Valley, continuing the good old fun gardening times virtually in a more controlled setting. But yeah, I will see you all then.